A full paddle workout, you can easily do at home, minimal equipment, because all the Netflix binge, video game, posture isn't gonna help your paddling when you can finally get back in the water. I'm Chris Mills with surfstrengthcoach.com. Check out the website if you've never seen it before. Gonna give you an easy workout you can do at home to condition the upper body. Because right now, all of this is not gonna help out your paddling when you can finally get back in the water. So paddling, the work capacity, the endurance, energy production of the upper body, it's usually one of the first things to drop off. And again, once posture gets gnarly, the paddling thing gets gnarly. So most are familiar with this whole band paddle workouts and stuff. We're gonna get a bit more dynamic with it and hit multiple conditioning aspects of the upper body using stuff you can easily do at home. Can of soup, you're gonna need 2, or a water bottle. This is actually a can of coconut cream because that's what I put in my coffee. A towel, you're gonna actually need 2 towels. We'll get into that shortly. And an exercise ball. You can do some legit training to really keep your upper body capable. And if you want something really comprehensive in terms of surf fitness and really improving yourself for when you can finally get in the water, check out my full Surf Athlete 12-week program, and it's an app. You'll dig it. It's your paddling workout. So the first component I always have to address on people, whether I'm doing rehab with them or just general prep and conditioning, alignment of spine, good neck position, how did the rib cage, or how's it moving, how is it oriented? Because if the spine and ribs are all collapsed and not doing their job, how do you expect a shoulder and a neck to be on a surfboard? So first thing you gotta start checking out is foundation training. You can go into my Surf Athlete app and there's some introductory practices from the boys at FT. Eric Goodman, Jesse Salas, all those FT crew have done a wonderful job. Get into some foundation training because the spine, the ribs, and it hits a lot of hips as well. It's the foundation for your body's ability to move. So again, we can't start creating endurance work in an upper body that can't even move or lift their arms overhead. And suddenly we start getting spine, hip, diaphragm doing its job, the shoulder girdle moving properly. So check out foundation training. So now let's dive into why I have a towel hanging on the wall. This is a homemade suspension strap. If you don't have one of these, don't sweat it. There's a link that I'm gonna put right here to show you how to put this together. If you got a suspension trainer at home, cool, Olympic rings, or even if you have bands can suffice. First, I'm gonna show you this protocol using a towel, then we'll get into it using a ball. So, paddle stroke. It's this kind of straight arm lat pull, right? Essentially, there's variant, but from the shoulder girdle, we have this contraction out of the lat. So another thing that's also really important for the health of the shoulder, but also endurance, and people are super weak on, posterior deltoid and the rest of these scapular retractors and adductors. So we're gonna hit both. This doesn't necessarily hit that as much, so we're gonna carry it or superset it essentially with kind of a reverse fly thing. Using the towel, what you're going to need to do is know how to hip hinge back, but then to come into this pull, I'm actually gonna come up onto my toes a little, and if you have a longer towel, you can get more of a full range. If the towel's too short, you're only gonna be able to pull to here. You do want a longer towel, almost a little longer than this one. But from this position, I pull myself upright, but I'm going to use my body, the extensors, to raise up only enough to overcome resistance. Meaning, I could just have my arms hitting here and I could just stand tall. Or I pull myself tall with my arms and only use the rest of my body to upright minimally so that the arms are doing all of the work. Cool? So a couple reps and things to be aware of. I come up on the toes just so I can get a little extra pull. And then I don't just drop down. It's almost like a slow eccentric. So my muscles are working through this lat tricep complex the entire time. Straight arm lat pull. Again, I'm making my arms do all the work. If you do not feel lat and triceps doing their job in that position, then you are using the rest of your body too much. And then we come straight into reverse flies. And I'm going to hit slightly different angles with each rep. And again, I have to find the angle my body to be at. I don't want to excessively extend. That's just me cheating through thoracic extension. I want to keep a nice stable spine and move the shoulder girdle on stable ribs. So here, I would also be going high repetition, 15 to 20 reps. Notice I kind of reverse fly out to a slightly different angle each rep. It doesn't take much resistance. Sometimes it helps people stagger their feet. One slightly forward, one slightly back. Don't just go into extension. Keep some abdominal tension. 15 to 20 lat pulls, 15 to 20 of these. Rest 30 to 45 seconds. Repeat that circuit 2 to 3 times. This is the option if you don't want to use the towel or the bands. Using some soup cans or bottles of water. It doesn't need to be much weight. Maybe like a kilo is plenty. And a ball. Again, hand entry, paddle stroke. It's kind of this straight arm lat pull. Asks, we want to train that movement. What you need is a ball. You're going to need to know how to keep a stable spine again. So, fists on top of the ball, I want you to bring them a bit back. Elbows are slightly soft. And all you're going to do is roll forward with the hips. But mind you, I don't change any spinal position. That's really important. So you can actually train pelvic stability, core stability, how to control a stable rib cage in this as well. Get a good ab workout from it. So in here, I already push down, right, into that ball. So I already feel a lat contraction. And now I eccentrically elongate, so meaning I'm stretching the lats and I'm pushing into the ball, and then I push down into the ball to come back to the start. Now if you do this right, and for higher rep, it's actually a really difficult exercise. If you get shoulder pain and type of an impingement issue, you need to get into some foundation training, sort out your shoulders, see a therapist, get into some soft tissue work. Limit the range of motion. So I can go fully overhead, so I can be here. Some people, pain. So I sort of shoulder out, but you can lessen the range of motion. So maybe that's as far as you can go, and now I push down and in. But similar process, you want fairly high repetition, 15 to 20. We need high repetition because our arms in the water are basically running non-stop. You're paddling non-stop at times. So we need to build work capacity within these tissues, within the muscles. I'm pushing down into that ball the entire time, and every couple reps, you might need to reposition your fists because over time, they're gonna start coming off of that ball. Again, you'll really feel that through lat and triceps. So then, we need our soup cans to get into that posterior shoulder. So to really isolate it, just like when we're up with the rope or the towels, we don't want excessive extension out of the spine. So we need to get into that ball and kind of pull your knees in. That's going to prevent you from extending at the lumbar spine too much. And we're going to reverse fly and come thumb soup can up. Slower tempo. If you do 15 reps like this, You've only kept it under tension for less than 15 seconds. We want longer than that. 1. Nice, good spinal alignment, kind of chin tucked. We could even come up head just a little, but for most people, we don't need to reinforce that forward head posture, so they're better off. That occiput, nice elongation. Slow repetition. Good squeezes. Slow, high rep. And if you want, add some holds. If you're not getting enough out of that, each rep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're really gonna start feeling the burn. 2, 3, 4, 5. And building work capacity in the muscles that count. So now we're gonna add in a movement that helps us get into good spinal extension and also trains this rotational stability through the spine. This is really important for people that have had lumbar spine pathologies previously or shoulder stuff. As you paddle, it's a rotational stabilization torque through the spine essentially. So a good old stability ball, alternating Superman, get nice and long, okay? And then what I do is I don't raise my leg up so that I hyperextend. This stays stable. I think of pushing my heel away from my body so I feel some butt cheek. And then opposite hand comes to a Y, thumb to the ceiling. And I hold this position. The advanced version would be no hand. So all that's on the floor is 1 foot. If you need to, put a hand. 10 to 20 second holds. 20 seconds is the goal. Alternate, I'm going for length. You're likely going to find that you're better on one side than another. I have people do this. You set a timer, 2 to 3 minutes, non-stop, 10-second hold or 20, breath in, breath out. And I'm looking for length. And again, to progress it, you would go to no hands on the ground, just a foot. And it's training this posterior oblique sling, this upper, so as I paddle, I'm getting this rotational torque through the body. This is helping to create stability and endurance through all those muscles to keep you there. Full progression is no hands, full Superman. That's full progression. We're gonna finish this up with even more emphasis on the thoracic extensors because if you can't keep yourself in this good upright position, you're paddling, it ain't happening. Again, using a ball, this is really helpful if you can have your feet against a wall, okay? I'll show you a demo and then I'm gonna put feet against the wall so I can load it. So I get set up on the ball. If I'm further forward, there's more load. You wanna be kind of back a bit so we can focus more on the thoracic extensors, this upper back. Whereas if I'm here, I'm gonna start getting a lot of lumbar extensor as well, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on your particular abilities. So hands across the chest, nice long neck. It's almost like I'm trying to sphinx up. Nice long control hold. You want to feel the muscles of the upper portion of the spine really working, okay? You want almost a little bit of glute tension as well, just a bit to help stabilize that pelvis. Not so much that you posteriorly tilt it. That's especially important for people that have lumbar disc issues, any discogenic pain. So a progression would be I come up and I add a rotation to one side. So I've got feet against the door now. Similar to everything else, you do want some higher repetition because we're trying to build some endurance. Good long tempo holds, nice slow controlled. That progression is rotation. Come all the way forward so we're working those vertebral segments through its full range and really make sure you've got good spinal range of motion before you do these. So for anybody that does a lot of surfing, you should be very good at segmental cat-cows to make sure you can actually move your spine through space. So there you go, a cool paddling workout you can easily do at home, multiple movements hitting on various muscular and energy aspects that you need to run with your arms in the water in good positions with endurance and pain-free paddling. Hope you get stoked on it. If you want something that's far more comprehensive, a step-by-step process guiding you through legit training that actually carries over to your body as a surfer, check out my full Surf Athlete 12-week program. It's in the app. You'll absolutely dig it. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep your body fit and capable because you will be able to get back in the ocean pretty soon. Peace.